Right, hello everybody and welcome to round 3, season 15 of FRL's Super Sprint Sunday Mega Grid 3 tiers. We are here at rainy Snetterton with my good friend Retro Ghost. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing very well, mate. I've got my welly boots on and my big trench coat for what looks like a very wet race this evening.
Absolutely.
The fingers crossed the drivers can keep it on the very wet tarmac and not do some WRC that G Brown likes to enforce that he loves playing, just so the car looks good on track. Let me say it looks very good going across dirt.
Absolutely. We've just got the Bentley of Gedman going down the Bentley straight. Oh no, it's the main straight. So I'm trying to pick these off as I go. The Bentley straight is the other side of the track. So we're just finishing off practice, and whilst we're doing that, and we're watching one of our admins fly around in the wet, we're going to go over the standings as they currently stand. So if you're not familiar with the championship, they are running a singular drop round for the season, which has already been implemented after 2 rounds. So the championship will change significantly as they continue through the season. In the pro tier, it is being led by Moller with 30 points. Bonham close on his rear with 28 points. A bit further back on 23 points is Adam Sharp in the bronze position. And then shortly behind him is Morgan Grace with 21. Gareth Harvey in P5. Josh Clayton in P6. And then Luke Prentice in P7 with Cravat, Andrew Eden and Gordon Brown in finishing off the top 10, with a few at the bottom of Francesco Fenomeno in P11 and Jack Prentice in P10. As we go to the silver tier, we have got Fitterer heading the way. He is leading off Naisbit by 1 point, and then to Lee Colpitts by another 3. We've got Antonis Kokomalakis in P4, followed by Richings on 21 points. Van der Vault tied with him in P6. Samuel Grafe, a couple of points behind them in P7. Chris Gedman in P19, also tied with Sam Grafe. And then there's Carlos De Jackal, P19 also, with 19 points also. So we've got 3 drivers fighting out very, very equally, P7. And then dropping points behind them is Michael Mulnix with 13 points. And Javier Sierra with 12 points, with Heymans not finishing any races thus far. We then go to the AM tier, where we have Reinhard Serfontaine leading the way with 26 points. Tied actually with Dazza Townsend also on 26 points, despite Serfontaine having a DNF in round 2. With Jabino with 25 points in P3, Michael Coppens 23 points in P4, Jamie Thacker with 22 points in P5, Paul Trotman with 19 points in P6. Then we drop back with 3 drivers, all with the same points, of Cablo, Jude SC and Francisco Rodriguez, all on 15 points, fighting out for P7. We've got Simon Williams in P10 with 10 points. And then we have Hoek, Noah Morris, Brooklyn Llewellyn. I did get there, Retro. All on 0 points. And we have Nicholas Short, who is actually on minus 10 points through penalties.
So we've not even made it to qualifying yet, and you've already butchered someone's name.
Oh, I do apologise. That come up in the comments while I was reading. Was that? Sorry, I was trying to read it and say it at the same time. It's always a rookie error. I'll just pick up El Prentice, who's still running around on his lap. But yeah, quite a lot of really tight battles, obviously, as you might expect in the early stages of the championship, especially when a round has been dropped, giving the drivers just their best positions. Anyone you'd pick out from there? Someone you'd expect to be higher?
So just looking through the order now, obviously free practice, you've got Bonham leading the free practice at the moment. Obviously free practice is not where it counts, it's all about qualifying, obviously the race result. Obviously Kravec just behind, just over the 6 tenths behind him. And obviously his rival Moller is say just under 7.5 tenths there, just behind him. So whether Moller's got something in the locker to pull something out the bag, or maybe he may drop that bag like he did round 2 in race 1.
That was quite dramatic. Probably the most dramatic moment we've had so far in this championship. Moller under intense pressure from Bonham around Kiliami, coming against the fast left-handers, just losing his rear and going off track, and ended up dropping to, I believe it was P3 or P4 in the end, which is obviously not what he wants for his title charge. He is still leading the way nonetheless though, as we now go to qualifying. For those who are maybe not too familiar, the championship, all cars are expected to qualify at the same time in this short 20-minute qualifying session. As we pick out the car ahead, that is 215. That is Serfontaine, who's going to get the laps underway in his purple on white Ferrari. As he enters, Wilson tries to get himself a good gap. Hopefully he won't get traffic as he starts his lap. I think that's obviously what they're looking for, getting out nice and early. And they're probably going to look to back up around between 10 and 11. That's Coram, the corner. Big long left hand.
Admins have worked very hard for the race directory. You're not really supposed to back up on track. It is a qualifying event, like we found from round 1. Leica in that very bright pink we had got caught in a double bus stop formation in the last couple of corners. Snetterton does get very tight in the last couple of corners around here. Hopefully doesn't impede any of our drivers.
I think this has got a bit more track length around here. And thank you all those who are joining so far. Nice to see you here and not watching Mexico. We're very glad to have you. Who needs Mexican sunshine and altitude when you've got lovely British weather?
This is British summertime. What are you on about?
Serfontaine continues to push on and stretch the pack. As we've got cars only just entering turn 1 at the moment. Serfontaine comes round Coram into Murray's. Make sure you don't run wide. He seems to have found good traction there, and off he goes. There is initial kink to this straight coming down the centre straight. As you see it there in the background. Now, the question is how hard you hit your brakes. Obviously, you need to reduce a bit more speed than you would usually, but carry as much speed as you can nonetheless. Make sure not to lose traction at the rear. It will cost you as you head down towards Wilson. Brake in a straight line. He chooses an early apex there. Not maybe something I'd have chosen. You probably want a good escape out of here. Coming into Palmer.
I think that chicane there, you can quite use the inside quite nicely as a little slingshot due to the camber on exit and insert of the corner.
And as we enter Agostini, almost feels forever getting on the power here, but then he does. And then about the 70-degree left-hander through Hamilton. Now it's quite a tricky section this, it's a double corner. There's a pick a really good line up there to get your slingshot out. Then carry as much speed through Williams and onto the Bentley straight. Now Retro, the corner we're about to come up to, Brundle and Nelson, I fear I have nightmares about it. This kink where you're meant to take with a small dab of brakes and then try and carry the speed through. It's hard enough in the dry. Serfontaine's going to attempt it. Just take a little bit of curb on the inside. Yeah, controls it nicely.
Speaking of drivers attempting it, we do have the qualifying first time on the board there from S. Grafe with a 2:08. So I think he's definitely got some time to find in there.
How has he done that when we watched Serfontaine come out first?
I'm not too sure, buddy, but say he has opened this session off.
So as we've started off with Serfontaine, we'll finish with Serfontaine as he comes through the kink onto the centre straight. Waves bye-bye to his pit crew and puts in a 154 flat, which is then quickly beaten by Naisbitt with a 153.9. Straight into 153.9s already. Fantastic work. There's got 248 of Kravek. losing out to the lower tiers there with 8 tenths down off Naisbit.
Richlings jumps to P4 there, car 99. Doesn't set a lap. Oh no, he does, sorry, Moller. P1, 152.6 from Moller there.
So the time is tumbling already as Moller now on his next lap has come across a bit of traffic.
So Cork Malakis go across the line, P10.
Just picking up Jay Prentice in the Hubba Bubba Audi. We're going to bring the Hubba Bubba back in. Then Jay Prentice down, pit straight. Where does this put him? Up into P6. So the pro driver is starting to populate the top 10 as expected.
And so whether Bonham had lap in traffic or can't quite find his feet, but he's 9 tenths behind Moller. Prentice now separates the top 2.
I've just picked up Grafe, actually putting in a more representative time now, goes P4. On the 500 of Clayton in the green on black Aston Martin, just coming through Murray's now.
We had Sharp go across the line, slotted himself P4 to knock off Grafe, back down to P5.
And what can Clayton do? Goes P5, so the pro driver's already populating the top 5 positions. Naisbit coming back round for another attempt.
Coming back round as well. Does improve. P3 for Surf and
Wow,
Tone there.
And then Naisbit P5. So the lower tiered drivers really showing up the pros at the moment. I'm going to try and find. I was just finishing the lap.
That's car 41, that was Molnix.
And we've got
Moller, still doesn't improve, still keeping that time.
Just picks up
9, Townsend.
Got Gedman coming up in the Bentley. That only improves to P18.
Cork Malakis does come across the line. P11, 74.
We go back to the Hubba Bubba Audi. It's a bit more over the curb in Murray's than in the lights. Struggled for traction a little bit. But how's the rest of his lap done? This might be a saving grace. And he jumps up to P8. But car number 19 is just coming around the final bend.
Got Prentice in P2. Can he improve? He does improve, but not enough. Takes 4 tenths out of the gap from Moller.
That's a mighty time Moller's put in. As we go to Bonham, who's been the closest competitor to Moller in this season so far, gets a little bit of a snap as he comes out of Wilson.
Nice respectable lap from Sharp there, jumps to P3, great improvement from Sharp there.
We've got cars off track in Palmer. So the drivers are doing quite well so far.
Clayton coming back. P3 for Clayton there, great lap.
Right, he's really started to build that. Got car 248 coming through, that's Kravek. Powers towards the line. It's got quite a bit of improvement to catch up with the main party of the pro drivers. Goes from P19 to P2, wow! Goes within a tenth and a half of Moller at the top there.
Molnix also improves as well, not quite enough. You've got Moller coming. Does improve a little bit, 52.4.
Yeah. Puts an extra tenth and a half on the competition. Got Bonham just coming to the final sector. Navigating the high curbs of that turn 10. If anybody wants to look it up and have a giggle. I don't trust myself to say it on stream.
He's a bit scared of the bomb hole. Like what we had in last season with the foxhole, the rabbit hole, it might be the a-hole. We've got the bomb hole.
What
this
the bomb
track.
hole? But who's trying to drop a bomb on Moller right now? Is it Bonham? Goes towards the line. No improvement. Got car number 37 of Sharp, who moved up quite a bit in the last few laps. Rides the curb of Murray's. Flies towards the line. And what can he do? Can he pit Molnix? Can. It goes up to P4, puts himself within 7/10 of pole.
So we do have Clayton just behind him in P5, coming round the final corner, trying to get that Aston Martin powering down the straight.
And does move up ahead of Sharp. As we pick up Serfontaine, also coming down the straight, looking to put some more gap between him and Gerbino, who's his closest competitor, down in P13 at the moment. Because he improved, he does, but doesn't move position, only by a few hundredths.
Next car on track on a lap is car 47, which is Jackal, just coming into Murray's now.
Seems to take a lot of the entry curve.
McLaren quite a lot.
Pushes through. It's a long old drag to the line, this. It's quite far down the straight. And doesn't seem to improve.
Townsend just behind. Townsend improves 5 places there. Gedman now closest to the line, currently P25, P20 there, car 444.
I've gone to Thacker in P25 at the moment. He's got quite a lot of time he could be making. What does he do? Line's gone his way. No improvement for Thacker. As we do seem to have a car off at the last corner at the moment. That's car 134.
We did have Jay Prentice in the Hubba Bubba R8 jump 5 places there, but now tumbling back down the order as a few cars set an improved time.
And we've just picked up Moller, who's... Sorry, we've completely messed that on stream. Bonham has taken provisional pole here, but Moller out on a lap, coming to the final corners now, only 44 thousandths down. These two go dicing once again. He wants his sectors to be as purple as his car. Can he beat Bonham off the top? So the line's still coming. And no improvement for Moller. He goes again. Car number 4's out there. Right, but they have abandoned the lap. Car number 47 will go to. That is the Jackal back in the McLaren. As he comes round Coram now. That McLaren retro really doesn't look like it likes that last turn.
Yeah, I think the McLaren is struggling, whether it might be a setup or a skill issue, but not going to throw that out there. But no improvement from the Jackal there. Car number 9, Townsend, doesn't seem like to be improving. Korkamalakis coming down straight now.
I've just picked
up 6 places there.
I've just picked up Eden in the bomb hole. And then round Coram and into Murray's. For any YouTube administrators that are picking up on this, you can look it up. Snetterton, it's the name of the corner. As Eden pulls towards the line and no improvement. That car number 37, that is Sharp, who's currently been detached from his pro drivers by 800ths.
Ooh, I'm going to interrupt you there, buddy. Gerbino does overtake Serfontaine. Great lap from him. Provisional P1 in his class there.
So that was Sharp improving and jumping up to P5. He seems to like that position when he's got the opportunity. Moller has another shot at Bonham as he comes towards the line. No improvement again. Bonham has put in a mighty lap to get that done. 248 of Kravek towards the line. He's got a bit of a gap to clear to get Prentice. He does improve, but not enough. Another 0.2 is needed to make an impact in the top 3.
G. Harvey once again in the Aston Martin. Trying to get that Aston Martin firing on all 4 wheels down straight. Does improve, but not enough. Car 47. The Jackal.
Does improve over Van der Waal.
Races with Van der Waal.
I just picked up Clayton once again, currently at the back of this train of the pro drivers. As we see down there, Gerbino and Serfontaine Very, very crucial for that championship then. But then Serfontaine, my God, he's just put some distance between him and Gibino. 4/10 to his competitor. What a lap. 8.84 of Eden in the Bumblebee McLaren, bouncing over Murray's curb. And then towards the line, what can he do? No improvements. Car number 37.
Sharp coming down the straight, currently P5, needs a good 10th of improvement to beat Kravek. No, he doesn't, stays the same. Car 71 now.
That's Van der Waal. Oh, huge jump up to P11, so puts himself second in class. Got car 134 as the furthest one round. And that is G Brown, who's well off the pace as it currently stands, as he goes drifting around Coram. But can the Bentley tank haul himself off the curb and to some sort of success? He's got about 5 seconds to Filomeno that he needs to find. As he does jump ahead, he actually pulls himself within contention now. Just jumps Filomeno, but still a fair bit off the pace for his tier.
Car 32 coming round now. Quite a big train towards the line.
And that is Filomeno, the man Brown just bumped. This Filomeno doesn't improve over that, as we are getting very congested in these dire moments of the qualifying. As you haven't noticed, but Grafe has put in a fantastic lap. He's up in P3, splitting all the pro drivers. For what a lap he's found there. As we have Eden once again bounding over Murray's and getting a slap as he slides over the curb. Can he be the first one of these pro drivers to displace Grafe down? No. Car 37.
Sharp, just behind him. In front of the leaderboard, but just behind on track. What can he do?
Just
Great
get
improvement
P5.
there, does jump Kravek.
Yeah, consistent.
71 now.
Every single time I've jumped to Sharp, he's jumped back up to P5.
Didn't quite get onto time. Moller, not quite, but Bonham is stretching that gap now. A 52.3 dead.
So I picked up Kuko Malakis in his green and orange Porsche and jumps up from P19 to P17.
We had Townsend jump P20 to P16 there. Great improvement from him.
M Grace, next one towards
14.
the line. M Grace doesn't improve.
Brown coming across the line. Jumps a couple of places, not quite enough. Car number 4, Harvey. Oh, big jump there. P18 to P12.
Car number 32 comes with that
Filomeno just
Filomeno.
coming around the final corner. Oh, no.
Disconnect. We lost it.
Lag spike there. He's now back on track. Serfontaine just behind him, but hopefully doesn't distract him too much.
This Filomeno doesn't improve.
Serfontaine stays the same. Car 34 now. No, car 74. Colpits. Couple of drivers switching, can't get on them quick enough. Thacker comes to the line.
We've got
Still down in P27.
Hubbub Apprentice in the Audi. P15, can he improve? Roaring towards the line. No position improvement, no. On number 71, Van der Waal. There's like Marshall bringing all that attention to himself with Van der Waal going by. He's not learned. Still stays P13. Car number 9 coming. Third in class currently of Townsend in the black and pink McLaren. McLaren's not doing so well this evening, it seems, apart from Bonham. Townsend from P17.
Oh, voids his lap. Pulls to the side. Oh, I'm going to interrupt you, buddy. Kravek, who just flew down the start straight, has jumped Bonham.
Wow! A new man enters the chat of the winners and challengers.
Oh, we've got Bonham going for a bit of a grass in the green McLaren there.
Don't go in there, Bonham. They won't find you again.
Car 41, Molnix, coming round the last corner just for the straight as this 10-second timer is now going to start for the qualifying.
So staying on board with Bonham. Does he have a response to Kravek? Retro mentioned that there was some drama in the middle section of the lap.
Molnix P3!
Wow! Oh, as Bonham backs out. Moller is still on track. What can he do? So Molnix all but confirms pole for the silver tier. But Moller's still got a little bit of work to do. Sir Fontaine, I think, is a bit further around. He's in the pits. We'll go back to Moller. He's just rounding the final few corners now.
Bubba Audi, can he improve? No, he can't. Now all eyes on Moller.
Yeah, the man who's taken almost every pole so far this season, leads the championship. Powers towards the line. Has looked very controlled, but controlled doesn't always mean fast. He's got his 6 tenths down. As he does! Whacks it on pole. What a clutch lap from Moller there. So it looks like everybody's pretty much...
But don't fret, Clayton is now coming around the final corner in the Aston Martin. He's got a heck of a lap to improve, but he has got the tools in his arsenal to do it.
And goes
Big
P9.
But not enough.
3, 4. That is Brown, who's been plucking away at the back of the grid so far. It goes from P25 to P24. And that, Retro, concludes qualifying.
Yes, indeed, but it's going to be a very interesting race 1 and race 2.
Absolutely. So, yeah, if you are new to joining us here in FRL Super Sprint Sunday, it is not just one race of fast, furious action, 20 minutes. We then follow that straight away with 40 minutes of brilliant action. If you're looking to get involved in FRL, it's a brilliant place to be. We have you covered for pretty much everything that is sim racing, whether that be Assetto Corsa Competizione that you see here, normal ACC, iRacing, Formula 1, WRC, GT7. If it drives on 4 wheels and you can do it online, FRL has got you covered. If you fancy a chance in any of the leagues that run through most of the week, drop a message in the chat and one of the admins will reach out to you with a Discord link to get involved, or you can find us on SimGrid. And for those who are already here or ones that want to jump straight from being a spectator being as involved as possible, you can join our Patreon. Membership start at just £3 a month, and that can get you early access into the special events, into the league events, and with access to accessing your driver number and other benefits as well. There are other tiers that you can go for the Patreon, which you can find out as you move up the ladder, and that will keep the lights on in FRL and obviously give you some perks along the way. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this one, Retro. It's one hell of a braking zone for this for the first challenge.
Well,
you don't really brake for
turn
Palmer, do you,
1
Richard?
or turn 2, mate. It's all there. This wet weather's not going away from what I've seen on the forecast or what we may have seen in some of the chatter on the channels. But say turn 1, turn 2, and especially that run down into the tight hairpin is going to cause a lot of drama, a lot of friction. A lot of drivers, say due to pure skill and racecraft in qualifying, may be out of position on track, obviously having to fight some of the big boys. But say we cannot stress there is no reason for lower tier driver to give way to a faster driver. They have their own tier championships, and then they also have the overall championship for bragging rights. So a silver driver, a pro-am driver or a pro driver can race against each other. There's no restrictions unless it's blue flags. It's all systems go. You can have all the bragging rights on and off track of I beat a faster driver. Well, if that's the case, then prove it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're here to bring you, some great content round a very, very wet, soggy Snetterton.
Absolutely. And if you do prove it, if you do get out there and you do prove that you're better than the rest, get back in the Discord and give it a little niggle. So I beat you, and you, and you.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be as polite as that, knowing our track records, but, you know, it's all a bit of fun. It's all great banter, as we always say. But fair, hard racing is what we always achieve in this league. And the admins work very hard for that, so we've all got them to thank. But here we have it, just 2.5 minute timer before the drivers get underway for their formation lap.
Absolutely. And if you haven't done already, like and subscribe to FRL's channel and share it with a friend, share it with an enemy. We'd love to see this stream and others like it with FRL go as far and reach out as far as possible. It's great work the admins do. We'd like to think we're giving you the good show as well. So try and get this out to as many people as you can. Sim racing is such a great community to be a part of. It's incredibly skill based. You can develop so many skills. There's a lot of people to meet who are like-minded, and yeah, try and spread love as far as you can for sim racing, because it's a great place to be. Great way to spend your evening. So yeah.
In other words, you could just sit here and just listen to us just waffle for 2 hours basically, but get involved, guys.
Absolutely. Get involved in Taco Tuesday, where you can race me and Retro at different ends of the grid.
Exactly. Whether those ends of the grids are the same ends of the grid, we never know, because we always have an accident conveniently right after each other, even though we'll be nowhere near each other, but we just synchronise crashing. It's like an art form. It should be an Olympic sport. Don't worry about ballet or dancing or whatever the girl in the green costume did at the Euros, or whatever the recent one was, the break dance on the floor.
That was the Paris Olympics, yeah.
Synchronised crashing on ACC. Now that is what I'd pay to see.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're on a quick countdown now. A few of the drivers are still bumping up and down. For those who aren't familiar with ACC, that is them making the final last few tweaks to their setup. At this stage, obviously they can still make a few setup changes. It's not like Parc Fermé, like Formula 1, so they can still make small adjustments to their setup. Obviously, because they've got no mandatory pit stop or fuel stop, they won't have to set their tyre changes or anything like that unless they absolutely have to through damage.
20 seconds.
And yeah, obviously you have to calculate your fuel to make sure you get to the end and you don't just conk out and cry no as you see your opponents swing past you and over the line to take victory.
You know, obviously in good Top Gear fashion, as they do, they give the royal salute as they go past and take the position off you.
So yeah.
And so we have Moller now starting the parade lap of the formation lap to try and get some heat in those very, very wet and soggy tyres.
Absolutely. So I can't help but notice that I think it's Molnix in the back there that just seems to keep glitching in and out. If an admin who's watching can maybe keep an eye on that. And obviously you take the good with the bad in sim racing, whereas obviously everybody's safe in their houses, no multi-G crashes into barriers or anything like that, but obviously we can still be subject to a few different crashes of the internet kind.
Well, speaking of crashes, I think it did just glitch Molnix into the pits and then back onto track there. But speaking of safety barriers anyway, we've got an important announcement. Gedman has done his safety inspection of all the barriers tonight. He has passed the inspection of crashing into every single one just before you guys go out on track. So don't worry, your car is safe. It's been Gedman approved.
Gedman approved, absolutely.
But speaking of Gedman, we do have G Brown, the other admin, in the comments saying braking is the bad in the boat, which I wouldn't have thought so. A wet, soggy race and a boat, you'd be laughing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You should be sailing through in your big Bentley barge.
Sailing through. At what point does he make that just a yacht? Just nothing but a dockable floating palace.
Well, I don't think he's quite thought that through yet, but you know, he's yot to be kidding me. Way.
Oh, as we catch Moller with a big slide. He's really working those rear tyres as we come down the Bentley straight. Oh my God. Moller is really taking liberties with the traction in that Ferrari. But now Bonham will be starting directly behind Moller here as they go 2 by 2 in the final sector. And we are going to look to give you all of the action as it happens for 20 minutes and then a further 40 minutes. So don't be stressed out if you've not had enough